All right, welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room, presented by SportsMockery.com. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM, joined by Ficky, also covers the Bears for SportsMockery.com. And we have a really good matchup, Bears 49ers preview. We're going to get to our bold predictions, our score predictions, kind of go over the overall matchup like we do every Saturday. But this is it's a fun one. It's a obviously have a chance for the NFC North. We'll kind of go over the scenarios because there's quite a bit. It's a little confusing, but there's a lot to get to today. Huge game, another 7:20. I'm not sure how you feel about that one, Fick. But
it's the problem about being good. You get primetime games. You get all the late games. You get the holiday games. You get the Sunday night games. You get the Monday night games. You get the 4 o'clock games. So, it sucks for us per se because we're gonna be up till like 2 or 3, but. Yeah. It's good that the team's good. So I guess that's the way it's got to be sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And quick shout out to Iceberg on YouTube, TJ, who are here in the chat. We love these Saturday morning pods. I know a lot of our viewers, listeners do as well. So, but Fick, before we hop in to this matchup, how you doing? How was your week? Christmas, holidays?
It was great. Hotter Christmas than normal because, as you guys know, I'm in Atlanta, and I know it's not super cold for you either, but it was like 75 on Christmas. So pretty. As you can see, I'm wearing short sleeves in late December, so it's quite an interesting one. But Christmas was good. I got, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I got dual extender monitors now for my screen, so now I'll be able to actually look up different things during the show to help make the show better. So I'm super excited about that, and as you can see back there now, I got a little background. I got a Lego case, and there's the new Fantastic Four building I built back there. So my back's shredded to pieces because I'm bent over like an ogre building that thing. But other than that, it was pretty good. How was your holidays? I know you had family over yesterday, right?
We hosted both parties. So I like hosting. I don't know how some people feel about that. I know it's kind of maybe mixed, but I don't have to go anywhere. I control the living room TV. Don't even have to leave the house. Obviously, you got to prep, but my wife does a great job at that. So it was overall great. Just really talk about the Bears, thinking about the Bears. It's such a fun December where we have the Bears playing not just meaningful football. Now we're going for the number 1 seed. Obviously, have a chance to win the North too this week with the Packers just losing. So covering a team that is good around this time is so different, and I'm trying to not take it for granted because you look at the Commanders last year, right? NFC title game to not making the playoffs, and that's just how it is in this league. So, and as for the Bears, it typically can be 5-6 years until we get to this point again. Hopefully not, because it seems a little bit different with Ben and Caleb, and I talked about that with the 2018 season and the comparison, which we can also talk about that later. But overall, doing great, Fick. I'm ready to talk about this 49ers-Bears matchup and hop right into it.
I will say, though, to start the season, the thing we just were hoping for, obviously 2 things. You wanted the quarterback position question to be kind of answered, right? Be like, do we have our guy? I feel like we both feel that is the case, which is good. And the second thing we asked for is to not be looking at Tankathon come October. Like, we weren't even saying so far to December. We're just saying, like, a month in, can we please be playing meaningful football? And it was like, October? Okay. Not bad. We were like, I think 2-2 at that point or something, like not too far above that. And then we went on that hot streak, winning 8 of 9. So this is all you can ask for. And I think you make a great point just in the holiday season. It's something to be grateful for because just like that, it could be a flash in the pan, specifically with this team. We're hoping it's not, and it's more of like your Chiefs, your Patriots, your Bills, your Ravens run. But this NFL is crazy, even this year. And I want to bring up one thing before we get into the matchup, because you made a great comment about how the number 1 seed is like up in the air for both conferences. This is the first time in a long time that there's this much parity and diversity when it comes to the playoffs teams, right? There's really only 2 teams in the playoffs, one from each conference, like the AFC North. Whoever wins the AFC North, not a strong winner, right? And whoever wins the NFC South. Other than those 2 teams, in my opinion, any of the other teams have a chance really to go on a run and win this. And we have not seen that in the NFL in a long time, because typically we have the Chiefs, and before the Chiefs, it was the Patriots, right? There's always at least one powerhouse that was making it over and over and over. So I think this is great for the league. I think this is fun. because you just don't know what you're going to get. And what happens is late in this season, week 17, week 18, you still have all these meaningful games where, like you said, and we'll get into it, if they win today, I mean, this matchup against the 49ers on Sunday, the 49ers can still win the number 1 seed. So can the Bears, right? And it's not just them. There's at least 5 teams that technically still have a chance to be the number 1 team in their conference on both sides of the NFL, which is crazy to see because we normally don't see that. But all in all, that just makes this just a great, fun season.
Absolutely. Looking at the NFC as a conference right now, the Bears are the 2 seed. Seattle's number 1 at 12-3. Bears at 11-4, Eagles at 10-5, and then the Panthers leading the NFC South.
Yeah,
at 8-7 are the 4 seed, and then you got the Niners 11-4, Rams 11-4, so that's 5-6, and then the 7 seed currently is the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings, they're not officially. Oh, they are eliminated.
Yeah, they are eliminated, but they're 8-8. So are the Lions. But isn't that crazy? Yeah. The NFC North last year, right? We thought the NFC North was good last year because it was 3 teams with 11 wins, right? Mm-hmm. The Bears were the only team under 500. This year, there is a chance. Well, no, because the Lions will play us. But technically, yeah, if the Lions beat us next week and the Vikings win their game, the whole NFC North will be above 500. You don't see
I can see that graphic already.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's where I think the Bears' strength of schedule is just nuts.
Well, yeah, you got to play all those teams twice.
It's nuts.
It's not easy. So, but I mean, that makes them. I think that's what makes them good is that they play. It's not like they're going through an easy run of the mill when it comes to their own division. And like we said, because the conference is so wide open, there's a lot of great teams here that they've played. They played at least 6 playoff teams this year. So it's a lot.
Better than what people give them credit for. I know that. And I think when we look back at the strength of schedule, I thought I saw a graphic here. Maybe I can find it where the Bears are actually, I think they were like 4th in strength of schedule this season. So whatever that 4th place schedule is, obviously it was different. And so you play who you play when you play them. And that's just every year.
Because if you look at the Patriots on the other side, they're 11-2 and they have the easiest strength of schedule. And I still think they're a good team. But it's funny how both teams were 1 win away from each other. I think Patriots had 4 wins. We had 5, right? And you can tell how different of a schedule is. But again, they play in the AFC East where they have Miami and who's the other one that they play? Who's in that division? Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, and who's a lot? Jets. So there you go. There's 4 wins just from the Dolphins and Jets. We don't get that luxury. We don't get that luxury in the NFC North. But either way, it's been a great season so far. I'm so excited for the playoffs because the Bears have a shot just as much as anybody else, right? So
it's pretty awesome. It's shocking that if you would have told me that this is the best case scenario heading into the year, where the Bears would be having a chance for the number 1 seed with 2 games to go. You would have told any Bears fan, you're like, I'll absolutely take that. So,
By the way, we never talked about that. We surpassed both our predictions of what we thought the season was going to be because we both had them at 9, and we'd have been so happy with that. And they're literally have a chance to get 13, which is crazy to think about. So it's been a fantastic season.
Finished with a better record than the 2018 team. I think, or at least tie it with 12-4.
Well, they had 12. No, they're 12-4. So if we win today, we'll be tied, and then if they win out, they'll be 13. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Impressive. We'll a lot of excitement. Obviously, Chicago Bears football is when we are good, the Bears are Chicago goes nuts. It's a Bears first city, always has been. But when they're good, it's electric. It's another level. I don't think there's a lot of cities that can match it. Maybe like a Philly.
Yeah.
Obviously, Green Bay. That's all they have. Not even a shot, but I'm just being honest. That's their team. So obviously the Brewers, but there's something about NFL. It just kind of takes a hold of the city.
Look at the Pro Bowl voting, right? Even though I don't really like fan Pro Bowl voting, but you saw the Bears. The Bears had like 13 players, right? It's like your whole team can't be Pro Bowlers, but you see what I'm saying? It's like the fans, especially when you always use the analogy of being in a desert without water. When you've been starving of thirst for so long and you just get a drip from the faucet, right? you go nuts. And so that's kind of what this city's been. They love this team so much, but it's brought them nothing but despair and depression for decades and decades. And now they're good. So we're holding on to this and we're going nuts, as they should. I don't blame you. I'm in that same boat. I was over Christmas. My girlfriend's dad's a Jets fan, and he's like, "Man, you be walking with your chest puffed out a little bit more." And I'm like, "Yeah, my team is good. Like, I don't get this very often, so I've got to wear this, wear my heart on my sleeve." And so that's what it is for the city of Chicago. It's like we've been waiting so long for just a little bit of success, and now that we're surpassing it, we're going crazy. Which we should.
There's it cracks me up because not a lot of people, the people that don't follow NFL, they still think the Bears are bad. I had some family members where I was just like, yeah, the Bears are good. They're like, what? I'm like, because they don't watch, at least some of them. So when I tell them it's hard for them to believe. I'm like, no, they're actually the number 2 seed in the NFC. So, but yeah, I'm excited.
Fair.
I'm excited. It's a huge matchup. Yeah, very fair. Huge matchup, 49ers. We'll see. I think we got to go ahead and start with the injury report because I already saw comments about George Kittle. It's a big one, in my opinion, with Brock Purdy and company. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Again, before we do, though, hit that like button if you're on YouTube. I know a lot of us are watching there. So appreciate your guys' support. Almost at 13,000 subscribers. So I won't go on, but thank you again.
You guys are awesome.
Let's hop into this game preview.
All right, let's get into the injury report. List always looks long, but this one's not as bad, okay, for us. So obviously the big 2 injuries is Nick McLeod. That actually is a big one because Nick McLeod has been coming in and playing when it seems like we lose a cornerback every game, or they go out for a short stint, right? Especially when JJ was on, because he hasn't been playing 100% of the snaps. So Nick McLeod hasn't been playing. So that actually is a big one. Rome Odunze obviously is out. And that is big, but we kind of expected that. So I'm sure they'll be moving business as usual. I expect that my guess is he doesn't play the rest of the season, but he comes back in the playoffs. And if that's what they decide to do, I think that's the best move. Get him ready for the playoff because that's what matters most. The questionables here, we have Josh Blackwell, who should be a Pro Bowler, in my opinion, just for the special teams because he's made phenomenal plays. Nashawn Wright also should be a Pro Bowler. He has that hamstring and illness. Oh, and most of those 2 are both illnesses. So there was a bug going around. So hopefully they're ready in time. The big one here is TJ Edwards. He has a glute issue, and he's listed as questionable. Why that's concerning is because he's kind of had a leg soft tissue injury for most of the season. So I hope it's not something that flared up again, but I'm hoping he can play. Great news, though he's on the injury report, is CJ Gardner-Johnson. As we saw when he got beat on that touchdown, looked like he blew out his knee. It just did. And I was like, oh my gosh. Not only, did we just give up a clutch touchdown near the end of the game, we also lost one of our best signings this season. And it looks like his knee is not as bad as what they expected. He did practice. He was full, actually, on Friday, which is great. And he's listed as questionable. So that is fantastic news. And then Luke Newman is questionable. And obviously, he's a depth piece. But when he came in this season, he did play well. So those are the questionable there. The big ones are obviously Rome Odunze and Nick McLeod.
We'll keep it up. Vic, I just want to add, Rome, I don't think like you said, I don't think we see him to the playoffs. And then Nashawn Wright with the illness, I was very curious to see. He did not practice, I think, because of the illness. So
correct.
We'll see. Could he have been, a full? Possibly. I think TJ Edwards plays. CJ Gardner-Johnson, you want to see him too. He's a full. So honestly, Luther Burden, though, that's probably my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's back.
Dude, I cannot wait to see him. He was on a tear before he went down with that injury. So missed one game. Now he's back. I think he has an opportunity here to go for. He's the guy that can go for like 152 touchdowns. Like he's just that much of a threat. He's electric. Big explosive player for Caleb. So super, super stoked. Love Joe Tooney. This guy every week. He doesn't even practice. He just goes out all pro level. He doesn't need any of it. I said a tweet. I think he's just one of the best football players like we've ever seen. And he just does his job, and he's so good at it, elite level. So, but I think the Bears, like they're getting healthier. It's weird to say, but it's super long. But I feel like this is one of the better ones. Now we'll see who ultimately ends up playing. But 49ers, I think, are in a heap of trouble with George Kittle here.
Yeah, let's take a look at this real quick. Now, their list isn't as long, but they've got 2 people that are out. IU legend Curtis Rourke. That's a joke, though, but he is an IU legend, but he hasn't played all season. He's their backup quarterback. And then you got Renardo Green, their cornerback, which is big. He is out because we'll get to this. Their defense isn't great. Ricky Purcell, who it's so crazy to see him on the injury list because last year he was on injury list for a bullet wound. Like the dude got shot, which is wild, but he's listed as questionable. But the big one here, obviously, is George Kittle. Injured his ankle last week. It looked like it was a mild ankle injury, but he was walking after the game. It wasn't like he was in a boot or anything, so I didn't expect him to be out. I was listening to some 49ers reporter from The Athletic, and he was saying he thinks George Kittle probably won't play.
He's a game time decision here.
Exactly. I was going to say he's a game time decision, but we'll see what happens. Now, last week, I said there was reports from Green Bay reporters that said Josh Jacobs was game time decision and likely wouldn't play, and he ended up playing. So that doesn't mean that they know for sure what's going to happen. But I will say this. We saw how Josh Jacobs played out in that game, and he did not look like any shell of his healthy self in that. So very similar vibes. If Kittle plays, he's definitely not going to be near 100%. I would be so confident that he's not getting 100% of the snap counts that he normally gets. And he's probably getting around 50. So either way, we're not getting full George Kittle, which will benefit the Bears. But that's probably the only big name on. Well, their list is actually very short. That's the only big name there. But, this is kind of great going into, this matchup, this big time NFC showdown. Both teams look primarily healthy. So this will be a real legit test to see, are the Bears worthy of that number one seed? And same with the 49ers.
George Kittle, obviously a Bears fan. He, the last 2 weeks has just been on a tear. So last week he had 7 receptions, 115 yards, a touchdown. Week before that against the Titans, he had 8 receptions, 88 yards for a touchdown. He is just really the last 4 games, he has been really, really good. And Brock Purdy, that's a guy that they can't really, I think, afford to lose. And it would be a huge loss for Purdy and company. With Purdy last year, when he beat us, like we lost to 49ers. We were in San Francisco, I think, last year too. Never played well there as from what I've seen. And I know like history tells us they just don't play well in San Francisco. But I just feel like we have the quarterback advantage. I don't know, if that's like a hot take or not, but because Purdy has played obviously way above his draft stock. Where he was taken, and I think he's went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl.
Brock Purdy went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he went.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird to say, but I feel more confident in Caleb that he's a little bit more. He's got a little bit more juice to him. Actually, I think a lot more juice. But we'll see.
The thing with Purdy is he's very efficient. I think he's like, when you look at EPA for quarterbacks, I think he's like top 3. So he is very. Yeah. He doesn't have any of the flashy, exciting plays that you're seeing in the top 10, but him and Shanahan's offense, he's just efficient. He'll turn the ball over, but he is efficient, and he's also very efficient on clutch drives as well. Third downs, we'll talk about this, but I think on third down, he has a QBR rating of like 100.3, which is top 3 in the NFL, that's not great. You know what I mean? Because that extends drives. So he's fantastic there. And PFF, right? I know, again, you don't have to put this as the main source of truth, but directionally, I think they do a good job. They have Purdy as the 6th highest rated quarterback at 87.4, and Kittle, number 1 tight end in the NFL at 91.3. That is so high for PFF. That means like exceptional. Just to give comparison, the next highest on the San Francisco team is future Hall of Famer Trent Williams at 91.5. So that's telling you how they're viewing George Kittle this year is basically like, yeah, this man is playing at an elite level, which he's done in seasons past, but it's been a couple seasons since we've seen this form of George Kittle, and he is going nuts this year, like you said. So that goes to the point. If Kittle isn't his full self, which I don't think he will be, that is definitely very beneficial for this team, and that is obviously one of Brock Purdy's favorite targets. So that's definitely going to be an impact. Also, I want to say this is a short week for the Niners as well. They just played, was that Monday? They played Monday Night Football, right? So they played Monday Night Football.
It's a long week for Chicago.
Exactly. So Purdy dropped 5 touchdowns that game, but they have 3-4 days of rest, and Kittle's injured. So that extra day is definitely going to play a part. So definitely the cards are in favor from a health perspective for the Bears for once, or maybe like the second time this year.
Yeah. Again, still got to play the game. I feel good about this,
sure.
though. And the Bears can clinch the NFC North with just a Packers loss, which Jordan Love is not playing. He's still in concussion protocol. So they play the Ravens.
Does that make them better, though? Because I feel like
Malik Willis has been cooking. No, I'm just kidding. He did really well. Well. But then now you have a team that's going to plan for him. We'll see how he reacts with Malik Willis. And Baltimore is obviously well coached. We play them. Is Lamar out?
Yeah, it might be, right? It hasn't been official, but I think it is. And then not to get off topic here, but there's also that major article that came out about Lamar as well.
Playing video games,
all that stuff. Yeah, and that's from like a beat writer for the Ravens who's been like a beat writer for 40 years. So I believe it's very trustworthy. It's from like the Baltimore Times, which is also very trustworthy. But yeah, they're dealing with their own shit over there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. That matchup's going to be probably backup quarterback Snoop Huntley versus Malik Willis. So we'll see what happens.
2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Just crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Let's keep it going though. Again, the injuries. We'll see. You still got to play the football. You still got to play. At the end of the day, we've seen it. We've had the advantages before over many seasons, and I've seen the Bears come out super flat. But we'll see about George Kittle. That's one I think everyone should keep an eye on. So.
All right, before we get to the team overview breakdown, let's get to our first ad read here. First off, thank you for watching the BFR Podcast, the #1 show for the fans by the fans. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe, as it just helps our show grow and helps the algorithm get this show out to other awesome, amazing Bear fans like y'all as we're trying to grow this community. If this is your first time, also leave a hashtag #NewFaceGang in the chat. That's hashtag #NewFaceGang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time, this is your second time, you watched over 100 episodes or anything in between, then you are a true OG, and we want to show you some love as well. So please leave a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Thank y'all for all the support for the #1 show for the fans by the fans, the BFR Podcast. Now let's get back to the show. Absolutely. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into the breakdown here. This was actually surprising because we've talked about it. Brock Purdy's been on a heater. This team has won 5 straight games. I was expecting to look at this, overview and be like, oh, they're probably going to demolish us when it comes to how they've been playing, right? Not quite what you're expecting here. 10 footballs to our 16. Basically, in a nutshell, the San Francisco 49ers have a fantastic passing offense, thanks to CMC, who's about to have a 1,000-yard receiving and rushing season, which has only been done by like 5 players in the NFL, including him already before on the Panthers. And their blocking's pretty decent, right? It helps me have you have Trent Williams, future Hall of Famer, and then their right tackle as well has been pretty solid, McKivitz. So they've got a pretty decent line. Their defense, though, dog water, awful. Dave, they are the worst defensive line in the NFL. They have 18 sacks on the season. That is the lowest by far. No one's like that. 18 sacks. They are averaging less than, technically it's week 17. They're averaging 1 sack a game. That means they probably have had multiple games where they've had 0 and then maybe a couple sprinkled in where they got 2. Not great. What's our strength? Offensive line. Our offensive line has been fantastic. Caleb avoids pressure and sacks easily. It seems like Caleb is going to have plenty of time back there unless Robert Saleh decides to send blitz after blitz after blitz, because that's the only way they're going to get pressure on us. You can see here their pass rush gets 0 footballs because it's literally the 32nd worst pass rush in the NFL. It is dead last. Run defense isn't that great either, as you can see here. And their pass defense has also been awful. Again, the last week, they won because Brock Purdy put up 5 touchdowns. Their offense is on a scoring heater, and they've scored like 35 points or 30-plus points in 5 straight games. Now, it's not against great teams, but they have been able to score points, and they haven't punted. I think the stat is they haven't punted in December. Now, they didn't play. They had a bye the first week of December. So, really, it's like they haven't punted in the last 2 games. That's incredible, right? You got to give them credit for that. But they also haven't forced a punt, it seems like, when it comes to their defense. And old man Phillip Rivers, 45-year-old and his 10 kids on the sideline, was able to put up a pretty good fight other than that pick 6 they gave up against the 49ers. So all in all, we haven't changed much on our side. We've been consistently who we are. we're going against probably one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and we're going against a really, really, really potent offense. So it's going to be strength against weakness, strength against weakness. Let's see who comes out on top.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, there's a comment here. He dropped 277, 2 touchdowns, 97 rating. That's crazy. That's crazy. Caleb, we'll see. Now, the thing is, that you talked about the 49ers put up 48, Colts put up 27. I think this is a possibility where I want to give the Bears a little bit more credit on defense, though. They bend, but they don't break. Like they'll go through like a little drought in a game, but it's like they're not going to give up really since the Lions game where it got out of hand. Now, there's a possibility where you might have to drop 40 to win this game, but I think the Bears, I have a little bit more faith in this defense, especially if all of our questionables are actually going to play. And we can kind of keep maybe Purdy a little bit more in check. And then Kittle's a big one. Obviously, he's not playing. I think that it's a huge weapon that's not there for Purdy. We'll see, but it is surprising to see the Bears have that many more footballs than a team.
Oh, yeah, I was shocked. I was definitely shocked. I think what the issue is, it's just like their defense is literally just
and Purdy hasn't played the entire season too.
No,
so
Mac Jones played. Well, the offense was pretty good though, even with Mac. But again, it's like their defense is Dave. It's easily bottom 3 in everything.
Well, Fred Warner was activated. I don't know if he's not coming back this week, but
no, he'll be playoffs. Obviously, they lost Bosa as well. I don't think he's coming back at all. But yeah, they've had injuries on that defensive side of the ball. It's not good. And I was just looking at PFF again, directionally looking at their defense, Dave. And just for context, right? Like 65 to like 70s, like an average. Typically, that means your player is average. On the season, on their defensive side of the ball, their highest graded player is Huff, their edge at 73. Everybody else, I bet you their average across their defense is 50 or less. That's telling you that like they just are that bad. It's not like they've had a bad game here, a bad game there. They have consistently been a bottom 3 defense where basically they've been able to win games because their offense, no one can stop their offense. Now, I will say the last 5 games they've played against have been the Colts, who, had Phillip Rivers, who they play the Jets. They played the Browns, who we demolished, I think. So that 4th place schedule has been coming in favor for them for the wins. And again, you can only play who you can play, so I'm not going to hold that against them. But I'm just saying I don't think that's as sustainable as what their record shows. And again, we'll play the game. We'll see what happens. But their defense is just that bad. If this offense can't get off to a fast start, then we don't deserve to be the 1st seed in the NFC as well, because you're playing literally, you won't play a defense any worse than what you're playing this week. So,
yeah. But football's weird. Football's weird. Yeah. I guarantee you we can go scoreless in the first half and then come back in the second. That's just Bears football this year.
Well, we've been doing that a lot. I'm just saying, can we take care of business to start? Because their offense is definitely going to come out hot because that's what they've been doing all year. So,
yeah,
definitely interesting stuff. All right, let's see what Vegas says about the game, though. We are away, so there's always going to be that basically 3-point favorite for the home team. So basically, the spread's at Chicago 3.5 or 3, which means that it's a 50-50 game. Vegas views this as a coin flip, which is fair. But what Vegas feels is that these defenses aren't going to stop anyone. I think this is the highest over-under of the season. 52.5 is crazy. That's basically saying they're going to score. It can happen. I'm not saying it's crazy, that's improbable. I'm just saying they're looking at this and saying we expect whoever gets to 30 is probably going to win this game. And I can kind of agree with that, right? Unless there's some turnovers, which can happen. Our defense can definitely do that. But unless there's some major turnovers, these teams are definitely going to run up the score. The money line has Chicago at plus 140. So obviously we're the underdogs here.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, any thoughts on, again, we got to say this. Yeah. We aren't betting on the game. We never bet on the Bears. That's too much of a heart attack. But if you were a betting man, any of these seem favorable to you?
Money line. I would go Chicago.
Yeah, I do like
Simple.
that.
I don't like the over-under. That's a lot of points. So
it's a lot.
It's possible, but it's very, very possible. For some reason, I don't think it's going to be that crazy. And there's a possibility. I love this comment here where it talked about how the Bears are going to do what they're going to do the same thing they did to the Eagles, but to the 49ers, where they're just going to punch them in the mouth over and over again.
Right here from Johnny on Facebook. Yep.
And I like that. I feel that too. It's hard for me to say it out loud because like I want to see it happen. Don't want to jinx it. But I would love to see that because I think this is if the Bears beat if they go on this, if they beat the Packers last week, then they go in and beat the 49ers. Are you kidding me? Like this team, it's answered every question, right, that we've had. It just continues to, answer it essentially. To beat a 49ers team that is hot, like you said, in San Francisco, we already beat
on the road
Philly and Philly, one of the hardest places to play. We'll see. I mean, you beat the 49ers, and obviously the Lions might be sitting people. Hell, we might be sitting people. I don't know. If you have a chance for the number 1 seed, obviously you're
play. Not, but yeah.
But to have the playoffs potentially come through Chicago, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but that would be – could you imagine going into this season and be like, yeah, the NFC is going to go through Chicago? Like, you would be laughed at. You know, and now there's a real possibility where this team could be hosting the playoffs, getting a first-round bye. If obviously we need Seattle to lose one game, we got to win out. But it's possible. Seattle plays, if I'm not mistaken, they play
Panthers.
They play Panthers?
They play Panthers this week. They play Panthers this week. They play Panthers this week. And then they also play a big game against another playoff team, I think, to end the season.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so they definitely – it's not an easy road for them. And then also I do want to call this out. San Francisco definitely has the motivation to win this game.
They play the 49ers.
There we go. I was going to say that. I think they play someone in their division.
Two playoff teams to end the season.
Right, because basically if San Francisco wins out, which means they beat us and then they beat Seattle, they become the number 1 seed. And then literally they can play home games all playoffs because the Super Bowl this year is in San Francisco. So if they're the number 1 seed, they literally will never play on the road again. So they are definitely motivated to win this game. Because if they lose this game, if they lose this game, they will not have a shot for the number 1 seed anymore. And it'll only be up between the Bears and Seattle. So they definitely this game is huge from
I'll tell you what, if the Bears win this, I think they're getting the number 1 seed. I don't think Seattle's gonna be able to win both. Because Carolina's tough. Bryce Young and those guys, they're playing really tough. I'm not sure they're going to win that one. But the Niners, unless they're not playing for anything, there's a possibility there where they might sit people. It's possible.
Definitely.
We'll see. I don't know. Let's just take care of business. I think the funny is I was looking at the odds. There's a huge percentage that or chance that the Bears play the Packers, whether they're at the 2 or 7 seed.
2 or the 7, yeah. It's probably going to happen.
But a first-round matchup between Green Bay. I tweeted this a couple days ago. I said it'd be crazy. It would go crazy, and I feel like it would. But it would also. A lot of people were commenting on that tweet where it was like, I don't think I would enjoy that very much, having to watch that game again.
Especially if you lose.
You have bragging rights the entire offseason. Not that it matters, but it does a little bit.
Oh, it does for
right?
us. For sure.
Imagine losing this team, Green Bay again. We just got you saw the bookmark. Bears Twitter they were going people for Green Bay's throats. And so it's like, if you lose this one, it's like, oh, right back to it. It doesn't matter how we did. Yeah, we won the North, but to lose in the playoffs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if
you've seen that story before. So
for sure. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's when Aaron Rodgers went on to win.
No, that was the Chris Conti game. That was I was at that game. That was week 16 to go to the playoffs. Basically, whoever won that game went to the playoffs, and Chris Conti blew that 4th down pass where
Did the Packers go on to win the Super Bowl that year?
Yes, they did. I think that's the year they won 20. Is that 2012 where they beat the Steelers?
I don't know.
Yeah. So not great. But my thing is I'm okay with playing a Packers the 3rd time if it's at home. If it's on the road, buddy, I am not excited about this. So we have to win because I need us to be the 2 seed. Or if the Packers lose today, which is possible, then we're good either way because we win the NFC North. So no matter what, we'll be the home field.
We're 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah. Which means we'll have the home field. So a lot at stake, right? Some things we can control, some things we can't control, but that's what makes us fun. These last 2 weeks is going to be awesome. So I'm excited about that. Also, before we go, I did want to throw this comment up here. Josh Braga, hopefully I pronounced that right, said, good evening from the Philippines. That is fire. Thank you, Josh. That is awesome. We do have a lot of fans from across the world. I think it's our first Philippines, but that is awesome. Appreciate the support. And I'm glad that Bears fans are everywhere. That's what we learned from starting this pod, Dave. That we already knew that, but Chicago Bears fandom runs deep, across the world. And that's awesome to see. So,
oh, yeah.
Really do appreciate that.
Global.
Global. All right, let's get to our second ad read here, and then we're going to get to our key matchups and keys of the game, and then we'll continue on with the show. All right, we're going to get back to the episode real quick, but I had to take a moment to pause and tell you about something awesome that we have cooking up over here at the BFR Podcast, and that is our Patreon membership. You can join our Patreon, the BFR Den, where we have a bunch of great exclusive stuff that happens monthly, like monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and much, much more to come. I mean, we've got tons of features in there. We've got 2 tiers. We have our top tier, which is $10 a month, our Hall of Fame tier. What comes with that, which is very exclusive, is our private Zoom calls with our members. So every month, you're going to get a private Zoom call with me, Dave, and Jack, and we just get to talk about whatever, shoot the shit, football, life. It's a wonderful time. And then if you want to go to the lower level, we have our Rookie Grizzly tier, which is $3 a month. And what that includes is like the private Discords, the monthly giveaways, the free merch, all the events if we have coming up, things like that, access to exclusive merch that's only for our Patreon members, and any other cool features. You'll get that at the $3 level tier. And then with the $10 level tier, you will get the private Zoom call as well. Now, you can join for free. We do post our monthly calendars in there, so you can kind of see what we have going on each month. And we post our episodes there as well. So if you want to join that ongoing community, which we keep building up, please do so at the BFR Den on Patreon. Also, as well, we give a shout out to all of our Patreon members every single episode that we do. So if you join, we'll make sure to show you some love on every episode as well. So again, you can join the BFR Den on Patreon at the BFR Den on Patreon. And we just love the support. You guys are great. Shout out to all our Patreon members, and let's get back to the show. Absolutely. You can join the Patreon. Links in the description. Bunch of great stuff.
The support's been insane. Even our Discord, our Patreon. It's been great. Also, I see a couple comments here on YouTube. I think it's Lomed from New York. We have Dylan from California. I just love seeing all of these Bears fans across the nation. So appreciate you guys. But I just realized the Packers play tonight. So the Bears could clinch the NFC North today.
Yep. You got 2 games today, Packers, and then there's one at 4, and I can't remember which one it is. But I think there's Saturday football for the rest of the season. So we have 2 games this week, and we have 2 games next.
Imagine going to bed here, waking up, NFC North champions, and then you got to go then you got to play the 49ers. Then you're just going for the number. What do you say?
No, I said then you're going for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's all you're playing for now.
Yeah,
which is awesome. Great. So,
I mean, technically we're already in the playoffs, but yeah, you get that. Now, the first question was getting the playoffs. Second one was securing the home field advantage, which obviously you get from the division. Third is going for the icing on the cake, which is awesome. Oh, and here, Rod on YouTube says Chargers Texans, which is also a great matchup because they're both.
I kind of wish Jordan Love and Lamar were playing though. Like,
of course. Yeah, that'd be great. But of course, can't get that. Unfortunately, not.
Nope.
But we'll have our starters for our game, so that is what's most important here. Okay.
I love that there's a Packers fan in this chat.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
He's just going to town.
I love the discourse. Packers fan in here.
Shout out to you, man. I just got to give him credit.
Yeah, absolutely. There's normally Don Burr in there from the Detroit. I'm sure he's not going to be in our chat for
he's quiet, man. He's in Cancun.
Yeah, for sure. Well deserved. I'm sure they're missing Ben Johnson. Okay, let's get to the key matchups of the game here. I'll kick it off. I think this one's pretty obvious, but we got to call it out here. Bears run D against CMC. CMC has been on a tear this year in the pass game, in the run game. This man leads the NFL with 372 touches so far, 43 more than the next running back. Like, this man has been just on a tear. He's been fantastic. And we know that. CMC's been a dog since he came in the league. Obviously, his biggest Achilles heel, no pun intended, has been his injuries. So the Bears have to figure out a way to stop the run because we need to make this one-dimensional for them. The run defense hasn't been horrible. There's definitely some games they've been pretty bad. Some games they've been pretty decent. Like they were decent against Philly. So we'll see what they can do. But if you can really lock, especially if George Kittle's not playing, if you can really find a way to hone in on CMC, their weapons of Juwan Jennings and Ricky Purcell and things like that aren't going to do that much damage, in my opinion. So if you can limit him there, then you're going to really make this offense one-dimensional, and we know their defense sucks. So if you can do that, I think you'll give yourself a favorable position to pull away with the win.
Oh, yeah, CMC, what a talent. 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing is just
for the second
you can
time.
only help to contain him. So I think if you give up 100 yards total for him, that's a win.
Yeah, he's gonna get 100. There's almost no way.
Probably get like 150. We'll see. I have Bears D line, 49ers offensive line. We're seeing Montez Sweat really come alive, right? He's had a decent season. He was pretty quiet a lot of that Green Bay game. And he got the sack, of course, that sent it to overtime. But I'm really focused on seeing what Gervon Dexter, Grady Jarrett's really playing well too.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see if these guys can kind of step it up this week, similar to what they did against Philly, where just they have to get Purdy uncomfortable. If Kittle is not there too, and you're able to just make him maybe throw that ball a little earlier, just make him think a little bit more like, oh, do I have time? You just can't let him sit there and be surgical like Purdy can do. He did it last year against us. So we'll see what this team can do. I cannot wait for the offseason where I think they're seriously going to go all out on the edge rusher. Heard about the Max Crosby stuff too. That would be nuts. I know I say all the time, build to the draft, but you get me Max Crosby. I don't know, man. He just has this perfect mentality, I think, for Chicago.
God, we've been burnt before. He's definitely worth whatever we give up. It's just like this would be the exact same thing of 2018. You know what I mean?
But you have it. I think it's different though with Ben and Caleb and these guys.
There is more confidence in the head coach.
The receiving room.
Way more confidence
in the quarterback. Colston Loveland.
Way more confident in all of the pieces, but at the end of the day, it's still a small sample size. And this is the organization known as the Chicago Bears, and they do find ways to F things up. I'm not saying that's what I think is going to happen. That's just my Bears PTSD and just like having traumatic flashbacks of, the trade we already did. And I want to say this, got to give Ryan Poles his flowers. He does pretty well in the first round. So trading away those first round picks.
If you give up 2 for Max Crosby, it's worth it. It's worth it. And for those that don't know, the Raiders sent him home essentially. So they shut him down for 2 games,
and he left
for the final 2 games, and he left the building. And so he's not happy about it. And for me, I just think Max he's perfect. Well, we have a lot of time to talk about it. That's one I'll be pounding the table for. After we win the Super Bowl.
It'll be interesting because the cap space too. It's not too bad for us looking at his dead hits, but there'll have to be some money moved around, and we still have 6 free agents we need to sign, Dave. And these aren't just no names. Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Nashawn Wright. So basically your whole secondary, you got to figure out how you're going to pay them. CJ Gardner-Johnson as well, right? Are you going to pay him? Andrew Billings, Jonathan Owens, Alameda, and Theo Benedict. Right, there's a couple on there.
Like Jade and I know OZ, I love him, but
no, not Jade. Sorry, Jonathan Owens. So Jonathan will probably.
I thought you said OZ.
Him. No, I'm saying Jonathan Owens and OZ. Sorry, I think you said Jade.
Yeah, I'm saying I would keep OZ. I would keep Jade Walker and let him fill in OZ's role.
Got you. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Got you.
Let him go.
That would make sense. So, but still, that's 4 starters, 5 starters. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out.
Cap Smith, they'll figure it out.
They should, for sure. They're going to figure it out, but there's definitely, I'm saying we aren't as, in 2018, when we made the Mac trade, we had tons of cap space because we were awful. We had tons of cap space.
Here's the thing though. They can get off some of these guys. I know there's a lot of moves they could make if they bring in a Max Crosby, Grady Jarrett, for example, take on some dead cap. Like there's things they can do.
No, for sure. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just not as easy as what it was in 2018, where it's like, here, we're an awful team. We have tons of cap space, and here's picks. So it'll be interesting. We'll leave that for the offseason. But
Kevin Byard's got to come back. You got to get him on a 2 to 3 year deal.
And I feel like you got to find a way to bring back Nashawn. Not that he's going to have a season just like that again, but this isn't nothing per se.
He's too talented of a ball hawk. I agree with you. So, again, off-season talk. We're gonna wait.
We'll wait.
We're gonna wait on that.
We're so used to talking about off-season stuff during the season.
It gets me hyped up, man. I love the off-season sometimes, but we got some business to take care of first.
For sure. You know what also gets me hyped up? Beautiful transitions and then going to the keys to the game. So let's get to that here first. All right. Now we've talked about most of these. We've talked about them before, but I didn't steal this one from you, Dave. I saw that was on yours, but it's actually probably the most important key. Because I'm going to read a stat to you that's going to blow your mind. You got to stop Purdy on 3rd down because Brock Purdy has 130 passer rating on third down. Let me repeat that. 130. That means this dude is just immaculate on third down. That is the fourth highest in NFL history since 2000. Only behind the Bears killer nemesis, Aaron Rodgers in 2009, Dante Culpepper in 2004, and then randomly Tua Tagovailoa in 2022. So definitely in really good company. You got to find a way to not have him destroy you on third down, because honestly, that's how they put up 30 points, because their drives don't stall out. They don't stall out. They can continue to find ways to march the ball down the field and get touchdowns. We talked about this one. Well, I talked about this one for the matchups. You got to contain CMC. If that's 100 total yards, great. If that's 150, fantastic. But we can't walk away from this game and be like, oh my gosh, CMC played like that future Hall of Famer that he did. We can't have that. And then I'd say this on the other side of the ball. Look, we've said this multiple times this season, but this defense is awful. Do what you do best and run the ball down the throats. My bold take will go against this, but if we walk away and it is that Philly game and we had like 280 plus yards rushing and we win the game, like fantastic, great. Keep them, because what the running game not only does is it tires the defense and it keeps the defense on the field. So the time of possession falls in your favor, which then means on the other side of the ball, their strength, their top 3 unit doesn't get as many drives because of the time of possession. So not only does it help you score and win, not only does it help you march down the field and score and tire out the defense, but it also keeps their offense off the side of the field. So those are my 3 keys to the game.
I like it. Let's get to mine here. Very, very similar in a lot of aspects. Keep the game close. I say this because I feel like the Lions game, it just got out of hand. And I think the Bears can obviously play in a shootout. They've proved it. But if they can just keep it close and not let, especially you're playing away, 49ers have a lot to play for. If you get down 14, 17, nothing, it can kind of get ugly. It hasn't happened in a very long time within this season, but there's a possibility here where the 49ers can kind of punch this team in the mouth really, really quick, and maybe we just can't quite come back. So secondly, protect the football every single week. Caleb does a great job at this, but also those weird fumbles, it can happen. So just take care of the football. You're on the road, and then get to Purdy. This is the same thing. Get to Purdy on third down. This is probably the key to it right here. You got to get this offense off the field. You got to make them punt. And then we're going to get to my bold predictions here, because this team hasn't punted since November. 17 straight. I think, was it 17 straight possessions? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Maybe more than that, honestly. So get Purdy. I think this team, this defense, I know it hasn't been great, but they have been great in spots. And I think they can do something against Purdy where they can make him, whether they make him punt, maybe they just get an interception, right? I feel like that's a little bit more possible, because Nashawn Wright, some of these guys, Kevin Byard has been amazing this year. Obviously, he's a Pro Bowler, possibly all pro. So I think they're going to make him, they're going to be able to get him to make a mistake, maybe bait him into a throw, and we'll have to just see. So those are my keys, though.
Great keys. Agree with all of those. You said 17. You thought it was 17. It's even worse. It's 21. It's
27, 21. Okay.
21.
I knew it was.
No, still 17. I'm like, that's a shit ton. 21's wild. 5th longest streak in the NFL history. So yeah,
I was gonna say history. Yeah.
All in all, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan are doing historic things right now. Again, they've done it against some bad teams, but you know what? You can only play who you play. You show up on Sunday or whatever day you're playing, and you handle business. And the San Francisco team has done that. So the Bears, this is not going to be an easy test. The Bears are definitely going to have to bring out their A game, and I think they will. So it'll be an interesting matchup, and that's why it's on Sunday night. This is what we live for. We live for being a good team, to get the primetime games and to show up and show the world, the national media, that we are not a joke. And if they beat the San Francisco 49ers on primetime, another primetime win, I think people will start to shift the narrative even more about this team. So, all right, let's get to our third time out here, and then we're going to get to our bold takes, which I think will be fun. We got our score predictions and then our Monday headlines, and then shout outs as always. So appreciate all of y'all being here, and we'll be back on the other side of this. All right, before we close out the show, I got to tell you about some awesome stuff that we have cooked up on the BFRstore.com. As you can see here, we have hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, a whole bunch of fire stuff, and we're always working on new creative designs, maybe jerseys coming, Yeah, who knows? But you can check it all out at thebfrstore.com. All the proceeds from the merch store just goes back right into the show. And plus, we want to give you fire stuff because we want to look fly all the time. And we want y'all to look fly as well. So if you want to support the BFR show, go to thebfrstore.com. We appreciate all the love and support. Now let's get back to the show. Absolutely. Really do appreciate all of that. We actually got some big things coming for our store and some other stuff. I actually haven't even told Dave about this, but we got some exciting stuff that I'm really happy to share. We'll probably save it for the off season because we've obviously got important big business to handle here. But you guys have been fantastic helping the show grow. Dave and I have been putting in hella work to give you guys valuable content. We've definitely been pumping that up, and we've been trying our best to give you guys more value and more value. And I hope you guys appreciate it because, again, this is Bears Film Room, #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Dave and I are fans like y'all, so we want to make sure that we put y'all first because y'all deserve it, and that's why we're trying to build this wonderful community. So I appreciate all the support as always. You guys are helping the show grow like crazy. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's continue on here. Let's see here what the bold takes, Dave. Not great. Another bad week. Not a bad week for the Bears, but a bad week for the BFR, the BFR crew here. Looking at the bold takes, we both took an L here, right? So 5-10 for Dave, 7-8. But to be honest, I say this every week. If you're just nailing the bold takes, they're not bold enough. They aren't. It is bold for a reason. So we like to see, this should be possible, but not probable, right? So let's take a look at what I have here first. I have Caleb throws for 300, not total yards. I'm actually saying this is the worst defense he is going to face. The worst pass defense, maybe not the worst run defense, but for sure the worst pass rush defense or pass rush unit in the NFL. It is. They're dead last. So Caleb's going to have time. This offensive line is going to give him plenty of time. He should be able to dot up this team. He's got he doesn't have Rome, but he got Luther back. You got Jade, who played well as well. So I expect Caleb, if he can do it, if there's a game he's going to do it, it's going to be against this defense. So I'm hoping he goes for 300 plus yards. And to be fair, that is bold because he has not done that yet. And we haven't talked about this. He has 3,400 passing yards. So he needs an average of 300 for the 2 games to get 4,000. Again, that's his goal, not our goal. We just want to win games. But to see him do that, that would be incredible. What a way to top the season. So it's definitely possible. But to do that, he's going to have to break 300 this game at least. All right, let's get to yours. This one is definitely bold based off how they've been playing.
Yeah, I have the Bears find a way to get this 49ers team to punt twice. Not just once, twice. I just have a feeling it's going to happen. If Kittle's not playing, it might be an easier task, but I'll keep it at that. We'll see what this Bears defense can do. I believe in them. So,
you know what's crazy? The Bears didn't even force the Packers to punt last week, and they still won. I don't think they punted because it was turnovers. They got takeaways, right? Or turnovers on downs, and they had takeaways. Isn't that crazy? I saw that, and I was like, oh, wow. We literally didn't. Normally, you don't force a team to punt. You're losing the game. So that game was obviously crazy, as we know about. But yeah, I saw that, and I was like, that's kind of wild. So, all right. So there's the bold takes there. Let's get to the our score predictions here. Now, we've been pretty accurate with these all year. At least I'm picking the winner. Dave, you're 9-6. I'm 11-4. Definitely great to see. We've been winning consistently here. Mine here is I have Bears 34, 49ers 27. I truly believe it's going to be the first to 30 because of how powerful the 49ers offense is and how awful the 49ers defense is. I think we'll find a way to score points. And I actually think the way that we win this is going to be one turnover. That's going to flip. I feel like it's going to be like defenses are not really stopping anyone. And then the 49ers are going to turn the ball over, which is going to allow us to go up 2 scores at some point, and then that'll make us win the game. So a really close game that's going to come down to some fantastic play. Maybe Kevin Byard and Sean Wright strip fumble. Who knows? But I think it's going to be a close game, but the Bears come out on top 34-27. Okay. All right, let's get to yours, Dave.
Yeah, I have this one for some reason. I think it's going to be lower scoring than what most people are expecting here. 23-20 Bears. I think the run game for Chicago keeps this one. I think the clock's just going to move, right? I think this first half is going to fly by, and we're going to be like, wow, all right, here we go, halftime. And it's just going to be one of those games. So, but I think I have the Bears here winning. It's going to be tough in San Francisco. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, it will be a tough one. We are on the road. And again, this is a very dangerous team. Let's see here. We got some predictions here. We got TJ here with Bears 31, 49ers 28. That would be a very close one. Let's see if there's another one in here. I thought I saw. No, but that is 20. That would be a crazy one. Game winner, field goal, Cairo Santos. I would take that. So here's a question for us, though, Dave. I don't know. Have you guys watched the Bears hype video they just released?
I think it's just for they do those game previews for Sunday night.
Yeah.
For the game on Sunday or whenever the Bears play. But I'll take a look at it in a little bit.
For sure. Also being on primetime, which is great. You get a lot of like behind the scenes and more content. So I would definitely like the pregame shows and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of great stuff to see there. Okay, cool. All right, let's get to the Monday headlines here, and then we'll go through our shout outs like always. Well, I'll kick it off. I have for the Monday headline, you're going to see Caleb strikes gold. Playing into the 49ers here. I just feel like Caleb's going to have his best game of the season. He plays well in primetime. And it's just, again, I sound like, I keep beating the same hammer to the nail here, but their defense is just awful. It's that bad. So Caleb, this would be the perfect opportunity. The stars are aligned for him to come out and be like, look, I am him. And what a perfect way to keep the momentum going. You beat a really good team. You've been playing well recently. You're working now for the number 1 seed. Hopefully Packers lose. You get the NFC North. Like, it's just like everything's working in your favor, and that'd be fantastic for Caleb and this team moving forward. So, all right, let's get to yours.
Mine's simple. Kings of the North. I think it happens tonight, but the Bears finally take the North, like Ryan Poles said. Now we just got to work on not giving it back. So,
yeah, that is funny though. Like, that used to always be the meme of like, we're taking the North, and we'd be like, I think that's what it was when we were 0-2 because we were 0-2 against the North again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, hey, look, it only took 4 years, but sometimes it takes a little bit. But hey, yeah, I think the key part, which we'll talk about later, is make sure you keep it, right? Don't make this the 2018 going.
You got to make it sustainable. Yep.
Correct. And they definitely, having the head coach definitely helps in that scenario. So, definitely some things in our favor here. So, okay, awesome. Appreciate it. We're going to go through our OGs and new face gang in here real quick. So let's go through those real quick. We have the RB catcher with the hashtag OG. Appreciate that. We have Lomed, who also is a new Hall of Fame Grizzly member on the BFR Den. So shout out to you. He said, "What's up, gents?" Hashtag OG. Appreciate that. I think it's Chris is his name. Again, I'll give a shout out here to Josh Braga for the Philippines on Facebook. A good evening. We appreciate that. We got Jerome from Darien, also a Hall of Fame Grizzly member in the Den with the hashtag OG. Bears win tomorrow and Pack loses today. Bears get the number 1 seed. Love that. Oh, and then here was the other score prediction from the Iceberg, who I know is an OG because I've seen him in the chat before, but Bears 34, 49ers 21. That would be fantastic because that would be a no cardiac Bears game, and I will take that. So appreciate all of the OGs. And if you're new to the show, you could always just leave a hashtag new face gang in the chat. We'll give you a shout out even for the next one. If not, just make sure to like and subscribe because that's all we need. That really just helps the show grow. And we really do appreciate all of the support there. But as always, we do have to give a shout out to our Patreon members. And actually, before we do that, I totally forgot. We have 2 voicemails left over from the last game that we didn't get to.
We got to talk about that, guys. You got to get these voicemails in quicker, okay?
Well, I figured out why. They didn't get them in because they went to the game. Yeah. So they were probably walking out of the stadium.
That's more fair. Why. I'm just joking.
No, it's true. We want to play them. So, like, try to get them in, like, at least halfway through the show so we can see them because we want to play them all. So, but I listened to them this morning, and I think they were both walking from the game. So that's probably why they waited. So let's start here first with Jimmy, and then we have Big Mike to end it.
I was at that game, and wow, I'm still in disbelief from that. I think that has to be the best win I've ever seen. I'm exhausted from walking all the way back to Union Station now, and my voice is shot, but that was a good time. The energy after we got that onside and went to overtime, and then the win was just amazing too. I am not going to forget that.
Love that. Yeah, but that's definitely why he had
I agree. Yeah, I've talked about all week. That was the best game I've ever seen for the Bears of my entire life. Just what it meant. The Packers, the Caleb with the throws, clutch play. It was nuts. So love that voicemail.
Love that. I love that the people get to experience that and now have that as a quarterback.
Yeah, and to call in and your voice is shot like that, I love that effort. I appreciate it.
And I know, because I've walked out of Soldier Field multiple times, it takes 2 hours to get out of there. So I know he would have loved to send that voicemail earlier, but it's like he had to watch a whole nother game.
There's probably a bunch that Green Bay sucks chant was probably so loud,
ringing
after the game walking out.
Oh my God.
Love it.
They do that after we lose. So, all right, let's get to Big Mike here to end it.
Man, I don't know if this voicemail is going to play because I'm leaving it late because I was at Soldier Field watching the game. Lost my voice, severely intoxicated. Guys, let's fucking go, man. That was insane. This team's got so much fight. The energy. Oh, my God. Hey, man, BFR, I love you boys. Keep doing you. Fucking bear down, baby. Let's go.
I love how he ends his voicemails. Thank you, Big Mike. I know you sent one in before.
Absolutely. So thank you, Mike.
I love that we had people at the game though. And obviously we sent Ryan, our Hall of Fame Grizzly member, as well to the game as well. So I'm glad he got to.
What a game.
What a game. To have those core memories is what the sport's about. Unfortunately, a lot of mine are like I was at the Chris Conte blown 4th down play. So I have the bad ones, but I feel so healed. People get to experience.
I gave you the first time, Fick, you brought it up. You can't bring up Conti twice in a show. You just can't do it. A third, I think we might need to find a new co-host here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Thanks for keeping me in check. No, that is definitely true. That name, that one and the DD one, which I won't mention. Those are cursed words for sure. But what is not cursed is our Hall of Fame and our Rookie Grizzly Patreon members who hold down the den. You guys are definitely nothing but positive vibes. We got to give y'all a shout out like we do every show. And if you want to be dope like them, you can join the Patreon in the link in the description. We have a bunch of giveaways and free stuff in there. So it's awesome. But let's give a shout out here first to our new Hall of Fame member who is also in the chat, a Grizzly. We got Chris Lomadiso. Let me know if I pronounced that right, Chris, but I appreciate you. I know I saw you in the chat. You left the hashtag OG. So welcome to the den. Glad to see you here, but let's give a shout out to Michael from across the pond, Gage as well. We got Phil. No poem yet. We'll hopefully see one for the post game. Sorry, let me bring that back up. Then we have Angie Wright. We got Ryan who went to the game. Hope you enjoyed that. Daniel Thomas Daniel across the pond. Thomas. We got Tito. We got Dave, and then we got Jerome from Darien. So appreciate all of y'all's support. Excited to see y'all in this month's Zoom call. It should be fun. Those have been getting great. Getting better and better because a lot more people have been joining and it's just been like great conversation. So I appreciate all your support, but we got to give love to our rookie Grizzlies as well that hold down the den. We got Alex, we got Chris, we got Ethan, we got Caleb, we got Jason, and we got Megan. So shout out to all of y'all. We really do appreciate everything that you do. This show would be nothing without you because again, this is the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, Bears Film Room, because Dave and I are fans like y'all. And we go through the highs like this season, the lows like the last 20 years. So we appreciate, everything that y'all do. And that's why we're really trying to build this community. And if you want to join the community as well, you can join our Discord. Links in the description. It's free. We have contests that goes on there. And we give away gift cards to our BFR merch store all the time. And we announced the winner for our Discord winner of the week. And this week it is Nano521. So shout out to you. I already sent you the gift card. Great job. I think this was one of the closest predictions. I think he was off by like 2 total points. So I don't know if you got a crystal ball. Hopefully you can predict a winner for us this week. But shout out to Nano. And shout out to everyone else in the Discord. It's been growing. You guys have been fantastic in there. Great conversations. You guys shared a lot of your
400 members on Discord.
Crazy.
And it's free. So
it's free. And we give away free shit. So like there's really no I know we're pitching it and we're selling it here, but it's like if I were you, I would just hop in there free and you can win free money. Why not? So we appreciate all the support in there. And also there's great conversation, a bunch of great dudes in there, great girls in there as well. So a bunch of good stuff. All right. That is it. Dave, any final thoughts?
Nope. We will see you guys late tomorrow night, just like the Bears-Packers game. We'll be live right about 20 minutes after the game, about as quick as we can. We'll be there to talk. And last week, I think we almost went 2 hours talking about this team. We had obviously the first episode. So we went live and about 30 minutes in, it just crashed the stream. I don't know what happened, but then we went live for about another hour and a half. So we'll be going maybe not 2 hours, but definitely a full hour plus talking Bears, 49ers, and whatever happens, we'll cover it. So the support's been unreal. You guys have been just amazing this season. I think it's just been so fun to cover a season like this. We've been doing the pod for a few years now, and so to get a playoff team finally, it's been great. And so I appreciate the support from the bottom of my heart. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. But that's about it, Fick. We'll see them. We'll see you all tomorrow, and we'll see what this Bears team can do.
Absolutely. Peace.